And yes, the great countries, the leaders of democracies can do that, can take care of the problems and issues here and can help those who fight for the same values outside. So right now, when you talk to, if you will allow me to do a couple of specific things, please talk to all the people on the Hill about why the supplementary funds are needed yesterday. That we still are very resolved to win in this war. Ukraine holds very long line, more than 800 miles of active combat, active artillery duels on all the front line. We are running out of shells, artillery shells, and also we're running out of the interceptors for the air defense. It's very clear. You can just look at the news and compare how many missiles and Shahid drones we have shut down in the previous year, and sometimes it was closer to 100%. And now when Russia is actually increasing their attacks, and we are not able to do it simply because we don't have enough air defense. So the right answer to that would be more air defense. It's not just saving lives in Ukraine, it's also protecting schools, protecting jobs, allowing people not to leave, and allowing some people to come back. And you know how many people want to go back home. But they need 3 things in order to come back: safety for their kids at school, jobs, and housing. So all of that requires not only more weapon support, but also budget support. That's why in the supplementary funds, please make sure that you also explain that it's very important to get the supplementary funds now, but it's also very important that it includes all types of support, so that we can protect our energy infrastructure, so that we can help people to relocate or to stay, so we can continue building shelters for, like bomb shelters, especially near schools. Second, you might hear about, whether it's transparently used or not. And please, this is where you can assure our partners how effectively, efficiently, and transparently the help is used. Now, out of 113 billion in the previous 4 supplementary budgets, about 23 billion is a direct budget support. That's direct money that we have received into the treasury accounts of Ministry of Finance. But we do not just receive it into the accounts and people forget about it. It gets through from Congress, through Treasury, and USAID, through World Bank's Trust Fund, with very strict use of funds and very strict, almost daily reporting on where we spend it, but also audit, which is done by the Deloitte, and also 3 inspector generals, not 1, 3, from Pentagon, from State Department, from USAID, are regularly monitoring these funds and putting out all the reports publicly. They're all accessible. And you can point out to these reports all our friends on the Hill, or all those who will be asking you how transparent it is, they can read it there. And it's very clear that there is absolutely no incidents of that help to be either mismanaged or misused. Third, people might ask you, why do we have to support Ukraine? And I know everyone in this room fight for this support, knows it, shares it, but I travel throughout the United States now more. I just came back from Utah, and before I was in Minnesota, before that I was in Kansas City, I soon will go to Indiana. So believe it or not, but people still ask these questions, as well as some people still ask whether the war is still ongoing. So, because we're not on TV 24/7, and that's also something very important I want to finish with. But, so why does America have to help us? And there is a whole range of reasons why. From doing the right thing, doing the moral thing, supporting us as we fight for our homes, our loved ones, our dignity, our freedom, our democracy, but also because it's the enemy that threatens all of us. And it's much more efficient for our friends to help us to win while it's still in Ukraine, because if we listen to Putin, and he's very clear about his intentions, and if it's beyond Ukraine, if God forbid we fall, which we do not intend, of course, to do, then it's NATO territory. And then the Americans will have to fight. And we're still not asking other people to fight for us. We're asking for weapons, we're asking for support. So this is very important to tell. Third, take a look at the wonderful information that is already available online, either on the Pentagon side, or it was done by Mark Thiessen from the American Enterprise Institute in a public, very detailed publication, where the money from the supplementary funds go.